Hey guys, it's Nicole, and today I have a extra kit that I had purchased from Scrapbook Generation. Every once in a while they will put up overstock kits or just kind of extras that they have at the end of the month or even a couple of months later. The paperwork that I had for this one said that it was a Generations page kit. You can see some of the information there on that paper. I believe it was $12.99, but I think I bought it during they used to do these kit sales where some of the single page kits were $10 even, and I had grabbed a couple of these kits from other clubs that I don't subscribe to or I didn't subscribe to at the time, and it was just kind of a nice way to get a little different type of kit to sort of try out. And I believe Debbie at Scrapbook Generation is the one that does these generation kits. So it's definitely an older kit because this My Mind's Eye paper line was a couple years old, and it's right about the time that My Mind's Eye sort of flipped from a company that I absolutely loved to just something I did not understand anymore. So I had just kind of gone ahead and trimmed down all of my papers according to the directions that they had included in the kit. And honestly, the longest part of this kit was taking the pattern paper that was made up of a bunch of different like border strips as part of the pattern. You were to cut those down to like say so that you had all of the patterns at 3 inches or 3.5 or whatever it was, and then cut them all apart, and then you notch the end of all of those and make all these little tiny banners. And it was a lot of work, and I ended up cutting it out of the video just because it took me probably longer just to do those banners than it took me to do all the rest of the page. So I just decided to make the video shorter and cut that part out. But the end result I really liked. You kind of get this sort of spread as far as the different colors and different patterns that sort of made up this line of paper, and you could kind of see it all at once without it being sort of overwhelming or maybe taking emphasis away from your photos. So there you could see where I had started that whole process. And then this is sort of where I had cut the video, and here you can see I've gone ahead and I've attached all those different little banner pieces with all the different patterns of paper. And then now I'm just going and cropping these photos that I had already pre-printed. The sketch called for a landscape 4x6, a portrait 4x6, and then two 3x4 photos. My photos that I was using, if I went to crop them to a 3x4, I was going to be cutting into my husband or my daughter, so I just chose to make them 4x4s. Excuse me. And then what I ended up doing is it just hangs a little bit farther to the left and a little bit farther to the right, and I was okay with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach my photos. I did ink the edges of my photos, mostly because this photo I'm putting down here, I kind of noticed when it was butting up against the end of those pattern papers, it was just kind of getting lost, so I just went ahead and inked the edges of the photos to kind of help them have a little bit more emphasis. And then the only other thing that was kind of left to do for this kit was these stickers that were included, and I went ahead and inked the edges of those as well. There was this small sheet of stickers, and there was two of these little individual die cut pieces, one of them being this title piece, and I just went ahead and popped that up with some foam tape. And then the little journaling die cut piece, I went ahead and ran that through my printer to print out my journaling on. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of the stickers too, just to kind of help give everything a cohesive look and not really have anything that's necessarily like stark white on the edges. And as far as placement for this stuff, I'm just using the little photo that they send you of their completed sample. Any of these smaller kits, they will usually include the like a 4x6 of what their sample layout looked like. So I just added foam tape to the stickers, went ahead and put those down. Here's my journaling spot after I ran it through my printer, and I went ahead and inked the edges of this as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and attach this flat to the page. And this was when my little helper decided to join me. And at first she didn't believe me that the little baby in the pictures was her. And then she kind of got distracted from that, and she liked I would put the embellishment where it needed to go, and she would kind of smush it down for me. So that was sort of her contribution to assembling this. And sometimes she was getting a little excited and wouldn't let me get them lined up straight. So that is the completed layout. Here's a couple shots of my journaling area, some of the embellishments, and then another shot of the completed layout. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.